It's Sunday, this is your minute recap of this week's news. On Wednesday, ICE agents in Minneapolis, Minnesota shot and killed a woman seemingly just for trying to drive away from the person pointing a gun at her. Trump, Frankenstein, and her army of virgin Gestapo cosplayers have all settled on the narrative that the victim was a domestic terrorist who tried to run the agent over, despite multiple eyewitnesses and video footage suggesting otherwise. Not only was a doctor prevented from tending to the victim in the immediate aftermath, but right after killing her, the ICE agent uttered "F*** bitch" under his breath. The incident exposes ICE's evil to the general public and how no one is safe. Minorities, especially Latin Americans, have been dealing with their bullshit for decades. The abolition and defunding of this thuggish organization cannot come soon enough. Rest in peace, Renee. For you and all of ICE's other victims, the fight continues. Minnesota had a rough week, with Governor Tim Walz announcing on Tuesday that he will not be seeking re-election for a third term. Walz is likely dropping out due to a host of challenges he's faced, namely a welfare embezzlement scandal in recent weeks, but personally I think it's something much more serious. Chronic baldness. Federal troops shot 2 individuals in Portland, Oregon on Thursday, the rationale being the 2 had ties to a Venezuelan drug gang. Reports say that a third similar-looking individual was seen dancing near the scene of the... Oh, you gotta be kidding me, that's Maduro! How did he get out of his holding cell in the ballroom? Secretary of Defense/War and beer pong champion Pete Hegseth announced on Monday his intention to formally censure Arizona State Senator Mark Kelly, after Kelly and other veteran Democratic members of the Senate called for military personnel to obey the law and refuse illegal orders given by their commanding officers. Upon release back in November, the famously law-abiding President Trump called the video seditious and ostensibly called for Kelly to be executed. Even worse, after Kelly is unceremoniously executed, Hegseth's censure could potentially cut his retirement fund and demote his rank in the Senate. Now, could you imagine that? All in the same day, getting executed, getting your retirement fund cut, and getting demoted? That would ruin my week for sure. You know, that's probably something Mike Pence has actually said before. That's all for this week's Minute Recap. I'll see you next week.